Hey, welcome to another Coffee with Mark. A beautiful snowy morning, quiet out here in East Tennessee. Had a nice snow last night, yesterday, and it's just I'm enjoying a little cup of coffee here. It's not really great coffee, but I'll tell you a story about that. It's actually a coffee from Cambodia, and my friend Lewis Burke brought it back for me. Lewis and his wife Kristen were missionaries there for many, many years in Cambodia. And then their son, Sterling, and his wife are also there, raising a family there now. And so second generation in Cambodia. He kept seeing these Coffee with Marks, and he said, why don't you do one about missions? And I thought, wow, I think I've never actually done one about missions. That's kind of crazy. So I got some Cambodian coffee here. Actually, it says product of Cambodia. It's Angkor coffee. Smell and smile blend. The smell doesn't make me smile. Actually, it is one of those, robusta only coffees, and coffee from that region, from Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. It's never really floated my boat. I just never have felt like it's been good quality coffee. And I think that sometimes even they put things like roasted corn in it and things like that. I don't, maybe not what they sell, but I do know that it's robusta, and it's kind of inferior coffee. It really tastes like almost every kind of coffee there from that region tastes to me. And we've had a couple of Coffee with Marks before with this kind of coffee. It's just not great, but it is warm, which is great because it's like 18 degrees here Fahrenheit today. So I have to tell you a story about Lewis, my friend, the missionary. He brought me back some coffee from Laos, and it was beautiful gesture, because he knew I liked coffee and brought me a little packet back, and it's a little packet of coffee in this nice orange kind of Southeast Asian little package, and it's really nice. And I opened it up, and I was really looking forward to. Never had anything like that before, So Lewis was there with me, so I brewed it up like this one, brewed it on top of the stove, kind of make it a little bit of authenticity there. And so I took a sip, and I thought, man, that just can't smell like that or taste like that. It can't. And I took another sip, and it did taste like that. And it tastes like, not that I've ever done this before, but I think if you just like licked an ashtray, the ash taste is what it tasted like. And I said, Lewis, thank you so much for your gesture, but man, that is the hands down the worst coffee I've ever had in my life. So that was coffee from Laos. So it was lousy coffee, actually. So that's the joke, but it was true. It wasn't good at all. But I did want to say something to you about missions this morning, because in honor of all the people who are missionaries and who are doing work in the nations, and which of course my heart is in the nations as well. You know what? The Great Commission didn't start in Matthew, where Jesus said, go into all the world. The Great Commission started in Genesis. It started where Abraham was called. And God said, I will bless you, and I will make you a blessing to all nations. And through you, the nations will be blessed. So there's a vertical blessing. There's a horizontal blessing as well. And that's where it started. And Abraham went out. And, all through the scripture, people were going out. They're going out into the nations, or the nations are coming to them. And sometimes they went out voluntarily, like Abraham went out voluntarily, or like Paul and Barnabas went out voluntarily when they were called from Antioch. And sometimes they went out, they were forced to go out, like Joseph was forced to go out into Egypt, and yet he brought blessing to that place. Or like the persecuted church in Acts. Had to go out when they were persecuted. They were spread out through the region. Sometimes they were voluntarily coming, like the Queen of Sheba came to see Solomon. and see his glory. And God reached that nation through Solomon. Sometimes they were forced to come, like the Roman Empire. They came into Palestine, and the soldiers were forced to come, and they were exposed to this great God of the covenants. And so there's always something going on. There's always something in God's heart that has to do with missions, with reaching out, with taking his message beyond where you are into other places. And so I just want to ask you, maybe you've got a call on your heart to go to missions. Maybe there's something in you that's stirring, that wants to go beyond where you are. Not just missions is not a place. Missions is a mentality. It's being missional where you are. It's stepping beyond not just your borders, beyond your personal boundaries, and reaching your neighbor, reaching your city, reaching your state, or across your country, or even other countries. And of course, this is a big part of my heart, is missions, and particularly in leaders in other nations. But I just want to encourage you, let's remember, God is a God who wants to bless the whole nations. He wants to bless us vertically so that we can bless horizontally as well. Let's remember that, and let's remember that he calls us to be a part. It's like an invitation into his mission and into his heart, into what he's doing on the earth, to spread the good news of his son everywhere. And let's take another sip of this warm coffee. You know what? I'm reminded of a saying that's attributed to Abraham Lincoln. I have no idea if he actually said it or not, but it's said that he said, when he was offered some kind of a drink, he said, "If this is coffee, please bring me some tea. And if this is tea, please bring me some coffee." Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and share, and check out our other videos. Also, if you want to see how we are multiplying healthy leaders worldwide, you can check out markmedley.org. And remember, life's too short to drink bad coffee.